Hello, my peeps. Things are not showing as live, but I'm going to assume they are because I did all the things right. And at some point, the universe needs to reward me for doing the things right. Give me a live on the first try. Just open up my thing here. Where's my YouTube? There we go. Of course, I just want to see without actually hitting the button because I didn't turn off the sound. I'm going to live to get to my own channel. I have to hit like 17 buttons. There we go. All right, peeps. Welcome to Live with the Paper Pusher. That would be me, Tracey. Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, friendly neighborhood paper pusher. And yeah, it's Wednesday, not Tuesday. I also decided that I've tried a couple different days to see which one works. There's always something, but I'm just kind of trying to find the one that works for people to watch. It doesn't interfere too much with every other thing that seems to be going on. And that evolves, and I'm good with it evolving. But I thought instead of putting the date in the title so that I could just have one section of live videos, because I'm going to try to organize my YouTube channel here. Because there's hundreds of videos on it, and there are all sorts of different names and titles and things that amuse me, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's easy for somebody else to find. And so I've decided I would just go call it Live. And I was going to put Live with Tracey. But when you write Live with Tracey, it looks like Live with Tracey. And Tracey already has 2 roommates. Tracey does not need any more. So I decided I would just call it Live with the Paper Pusher. And then in my head, I sound like you have to say it like you're a 70s game show host. That's how it's meant to be said. So anywho, here we are. I'm not going to do a bunch of this stuff, but I am going to do a couple things because, hey, free shipping. You know I love free shipping. Free shipping's the best. Okay, there's a bush outside my window that lines up perfectly with like the crossbar of the window. And every now and again, the wind blows it like this. And it makes it look like somebody's outside going, what are you doing? And it's freaking me out. I'm going to have to go trim them. Those things are just, they start small. I trim them like right down to nothing in the fall. And they start slow. And then all of a sudden, pooh, and you can barely walk down the sidewalk. They're so big. Okay, here's the important part. If you order that you want to order some stuff and it's less than $100, then you need to group up with a bunch of people so you can still get the free shipping because the minimum order is $100. It says it there. So I'm putting the order in tomorrow at 9:15. Now I've been waiting since last week for some stuff, but at the virtual album retreat last week, we got 12 page protectors instead of 13. So Stampin' Up, being the decent stand-up company that they are, said that everybody who had paid for that retreat would get a coupon so they could order some more or they could order whatever they wanted. So of course I always have a list and I'm like, sweet. So I've been waiting for the coupon, which I got yesterday afternoon. Perfect timing for free shipping, which they also said, hey, we got a bunch of people going to be ordering. Let's throw in some free shipping. Because if you give somebody a $20 coupon and then say, yeah, but you have to pay full shipping, and there, I'm sure people would have complained because people always complain. I thought it was great of them to do. So yes, I have been anxiously waiting. So I am not waiting past 9. If you send me stuff at 9:15 and I've already sent the order in and your stuff's not $100, sorry. Because I will more than top up. I'm already way over the $100 on just my stuff. That's how come anybody, you can order something for $10 and I can guarantee you're over because I already am. But I'm only doing one order. So tomorrow, 9 o'clock, free shipping. The other thing I wanted to highlight, because now I have the stuff and I'm very excited about this. I've had so many people ask about scrapbooking and I've thrown out scrapbooking a couple times and nothing. But this time I actually have stuff to show you. So we'll see. And these scrapbook layouts that I did, I will do my show and tell on Friday. I'm going to do a video because lots of the pages are interactive and I think you got to see the whole thing like to get the picture, right? So I'm going to do like a open, like page by page through the album and show you all the good stuff. But this one is a much smaller thing, but I have got stuff like, so this is one of the layouts. This is from the annual catalog. I'll show you the pictures in there. It's funny too, because I took this out and I thought I got to mark these pages so they're easier to find and they're already marked. So apparently I was like really thinking ahead. So this is what we're using, Weekend Adventures. And look at those layouts. They're very nice. I'll show you some more stuff. And then so this is the scrapbook kit you can get, which I have. And then there's extras you can get. And look at this layout. This is just like made using just the stuff. This might be my favorite. And it's just a one pager. And see, to me, this can go in a calendar, or this can go in a frame on the wall that you switch out once a month or a few times a year, or whatever. Or this would be like a fun picture to put in the the camper, the motorhome, the cabin, whatever. So there's all these bits and pieces. So I have a bunch of these extras as well. The stamp set's got some extra paper, some extra DSP. I even bought the extra sticker sheet. So we're going to be able to make a bunch of different layouts. But there's this lovely lady. I've never met her or anything, but I just assume she's a lovely lady because most stampers are. Kelly, her name is not on here somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's Kelly something Fitzgerald. Kelly Baxter Fitzgerald. And she makes the most amazing stuff that she posts pictures. Those are different things that she posts pictures of. So she made like a whole bunch more different layouts that are variations on it using the same stuff. Plus then these two and this like little camper and trees. I got everything, camp, tree, forestry, fire. I got it all. So little extra pieces. So look at these layouts. Like, oh, I'm going to have so much fun. So I'm going to prep a bunch of stuff, but I need to know who's coming and who's doing. I also have the option for cards. So if you don't want to make pictures or scrapbooks or whatever, you can come make a couple cards. It's Friday night. It's a couple hours, 15th of August. As Alan Doyle would say, it's going to be a time. And then we can talk about scrapbooking all night because I'm like totally addicted. So loved making the layouts. It was, and the idea of designing when I had ideas. The kit that I bought, most of the stuff was already pre-cut. So there was like, other than me making those unintentional designs where you realize you've screwed something up and you just have to make it work. Most of the design is just exactly what they had because I was just like, it was so fun and just relaxing. Oh, I had such a good time. Anyways, so here's the kit. There's some stickers. Look at these kits, are genius. You want to know which one it goes on? The die cuts are labeled on the back. These are for project 2. These are for, it doesn't mean you can't do what you want with them, but it's just if you try to follow the instructions, it's so easy. These are the sticker sheets that you can make stickers. And then look at this. We got buffalo check. I'm trying to do this the right way. Buffalo check. This is the most adorable paper. We got some night sky. We got some wood grain. Some more wood grain. And some, like I said, this kit is just awesome. So, oops, my bits and pieces are falling out everywhere. Ain't that the truth? Okay, and then so yeah, extra sticker sheet, extra paper, stamp set I do not have in front of me. It's gonna be fun. I tell you, it is gonna be fun. We're always just fun in general, and we're doing this at my house. Depending on the weather, will depend on where it is. The dog will be with my son for a couple hours. That's why it's only a couple hours long because that's about the limit. Just so we don't have to worry about him because he's not a dangerous dog, but he is a bit in your face and pain in the buttish. Okay, enough business. Let's play. So I meant to do some of these kits and I was going to do individual videos, but my week I've had one birthday dinner already. I had the album retreat. Something else. Doing all the BOGO stuff. All of the stuff got mailed yesterday that was to be mailed. All the stuff got picked up today. To be picked up. I have one other order that wasn't BOGO related that has to be dropped off, but local here. But all the stuff is out. And then, so I have this today, Lion King tomorrow, another birthday get together on Saturday. Friday, I'm going out to a farm to pick sunflowers. Cannot wait. And then another birthday dinner on Tuesday. Lots going on. I mean, all good stuff, all fun stuff. Loving it. But holy stuff going on, man. So I never got to individual videos, so we're just going to do it today. We're going to see how many of them I can do in an hour. Okay, so this is, what month are we in? July. This is the July paper pumpkin. It is also the first of the 3 kits that coordinate with this die. So remember I showed you some of these before with the dies because I was too impatient to wait for my kit. I just got this kit on either Thursday or Friday. So I made these cards a little while ago, but these were made using the dies, right? So the circle, I think the circle and the hello maybe are from the August kit. Nope. Only one's from August, one's from September, but now I don't remember which is which. The strawberries, however, are from July. So that was the one kit. And this is made, well, I mean, just a piece of background that's embossed, but all the stuff on this card came from these dies. But you can also make the strawberries into acorns. And then there's these adorable little leaves. So this fall is actually from the stamp set that comes with the retreat. And I think I showed you that before. The 2 stamp sets, now that I've used them all, and holy did we use them. I had like a tray. I had every single, I must have 40 blocks, and every single one of them had a stamp on it because we just kept using them for different projects. This is the stamp set that you get when you buy the month by month thing. And yep, my timer's going off. Just 1 second. So this is one of the 2 stamp sets you get with the retreat. And it is fantastic. Uppercase, lowercase numbers, all the same font, and all just like at the perfect size. Love it. That there alone is just about what it cost of the thing. So anyway, so these are a couple of the cards I made with these dies. So now we'll see how they actually work with the kits. So yeah, July, August, and September, part of each of this set will coordinate with each of those upcoming kits. So this one is called, I'll just cheat and read off the list. Sweeter with You. Oh, it's got I haven't had time to look at these things. It has a nice stamp set. The only thing I did was pull the paper off so that it wasn't in the way, but I didn't actually like look, or if I did look, none of it imprinted on my brain. But look at this awesome red tissue paper. I like things that are red. Okay. Excuse me a moment while I find a place to put my kit so there's not falling on the floor. The box. So I have somewhere to put the extras as I'm going. There we go. Okay. So we have Garden Green as the ink spot. We'll just tap those down so I can use my handy knife. I have a crafting knife. This is my package opening knife. Just like scissors, you don't use your good crafting stuff for opening packages, even if the package is crafting stuff. I don't know. It seems like a bit of a, it's crafting stuff, but no. Only for the good paper. Okay. Sorry, while I'm thinking about it, I'm just gonna cheat and grab my big Garden Green ink pad because it's easier. Okay, we have a tear and tape and glue dots. What's the tear and tapes for? Ooh, I am curious. Just realized I was rushing when I got home. I didn't eat lunch till almost 2 o'clock, I think it was. And I'm rushing, and I decided to myself, is it really a good idea? Sorry, I have a hair on my shirt. Is it really a good idea to have tomato soup in a white t-shirt? The answer is no. And I know that, but I do it all. And I just about made it through. And then a little tiny dripped on my shirt. And I'm pointing, I'm trying to see, because I can't stop noticing this tiny little red spot from my soup. But I see that it doesn't actually make the camera. So I could have just not said anything, but hey, where's the fun in that? Okay, so these envelopes are adorable, but they're all the same. I'm gonna have to show you one of them. So look at this though. Oh, and it's not even just a flat edge. You notice that? The edge is scalloped. Oh, there we go. Scalloped. Very pretty. Pop that back in there. So card base number 1. So it's not going to be in my way. Okay, we have 2 of each. We have strawberries. We have vellum for the as yet undetermined. I guess I could do it the normal way. I could show you the cards. Ooh. Okay, we got, sorry, I'm looking at it. I'm showing you. So we have 2 each of 4 designs. So that's the one I just picked out. And then we have these ones. Oh, loving it. So some of these I can tell are die cuts too. So you could make extras. Just a minute, I got this stuck. Because I'm going to have to, my brain's going 100 miles an hour because I have so much stuff going on right now. But I'm going to, if I'm not going to screw up the cards, and like, so you get to see what they're meant to look like, not my unintentional creative changes, then I'll look at the instructions of it. So look at this stamp set though. This is what I said. I couldn't remember what it said, but look at this font. Life is sweeter with you. That is just a nice card to send on an everyday occasion. So if you're worried about when would I use strawberry cards, then, and you could write hello friend on the outside and life is sweeter with you on the inside. You're the best, love you lots. And then these are all the exact same as the dies. So what did I do with the dies? So the dies emboss. Some of them, just a minute. I think it's upside down. So I'll show you this because I'm always curious. So this die is the base of the strawberry. And it is not, it is a outline die. I was going to say hollow, but that doesn't make any sense. And then this one cuts out the leaves. So you can stamp as many strawberries as you want and cut them out. And then, so there's the acorn top, and there is the leaf. And then if this other little piece would come out, there's this tiny little thing, which I think kind of looks like a bat. I should have done it in black just to see if it actually looked like a bat, but it's just this little piece here that fits inside that makes those lines. So the same lines you can see on the stamp, you can put this little piece inside the die and it will emboss, but it lets you cut them out. Same as this, you can cut out just the stamped image, or you can pop this little guy in, and then you end up with, and in my case, I put a piece of black cardstock behind it. And then you end up with the little holes for the strawberry that look like strawberry seeds when you put black behind it. Very clever dies. So yeah, you can get those two. Now the flower does not look like it lines up. Those look a little more round. The flower is embossed. So I don't think you would have an easy time stamping and then cutting it, but you don't need to, because you can stamp like for down and then cut out some for up and have different layers for texture, and life is good. Anyways, that's stamp set, and it's awesome. Okay, back to the unpacking. So this is lovely. This is like peach pie and pretty in pink would be my guess. And then, oh, we have stuff to make baskets. We'll put those off to the side for now. Then we have a little pink on pink polka dots. Little very tiny polka dots. It's very cute. Oh, we got more bits and pieces. And then this luscious little green background. Look at that baby. Birdie. And it has a bit of texture. Yeah, you can see that easily. Oh, and then look at this. More bits. Holy strawberry. Look at the size of these things. I will tell you, I'm super excited about my strawberry plant. I posted a picture in my newsletter the other day. It was so full of flowers, and the flowers have dropped and the berries are starting to come in. I must have like 20 or more strawberries on that plant. I cannot wait for those things to be ready. But look at the size of this strawberry. And there's a ton of flowers and big strawberry die cuts. Oh, these are going to be so pretty. Okay, I'll put this off to the side here for now. Let's figure out what goes with what. Okay, so this is the big mama strawberry. And then I need 2 big and 2 small. I think those are the small ones. I think these are the big ones. These ones. 2 big, 2 small. I'm looking at 2 different pictures. 2 big, 2 small. And then 3 of the flowers. Okay. There's more that goes on this card than just that, but it's on other sheets. So is one of these stamps make, it looks like it's darker. No, I'm not sure why I'm mad. Oh, there's 2 different strawberries. I think you have an extra one of these, because this only shows being on one flower or on one card, and there's 3 of them, and yet there's 2 of each design. So the good news is extra pieces. Okay, so I think I'm going to need more of those, but for now I'm just going to set those off to the side. See, because one other card has a similar flower or a similar strawberry, but it had darker spots. That's what I was trying to figure out if we had a stamp for that, but we don't. But this one is all on its own over here. And that one goes with this, which also gets 1, 2. There's actually 2 different, there we go. Look at that. I just realized that. Not that it would probably matter. The card's going to be gorgeous no matter what. But there's sort of the fat strawberry and the thin strawberry on the big strawberry selection. So that is 2 skinny and a big and a big. And this one is actually supposed to be a skinny one and a thick one. So let's do that just in case it matters. It's probably not going to, but just in case. And then this big boy. Look at this guy. Holy cow. These are nice big solid ones. These are going to fit nice on there. This one, it's got 1 more strawberry. This is what mine look like. They're just one branch has like 6 strawberries on it. What card is this going on? This is going on the polka dots. And then the big guy. Oops, what am I doing with this tiny one? One tiny one goes over there. And then the big guy gets some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers. I'm trying to concentrate and count. And this one strawberry is just determined to fall out of this piece. Okay, so that one gets us. So I have 3 strawberries, or sorry, 4 strawberries, 3 flowers, 1 big guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that is not right either. It's supposed to be another one of the small ones. In the end, it's probably not going to matter, but I really am trying to like at least give you an idea. Because these big guys are too big to stay on. They're falling out. I'll take those out. Okay, so that one I did right. We'll try this 17 times, and one of these times I'll get it right. Oh, I put the 5 flowers on the wrong pile. The 5 flowers go with that one. Then this one gets 2, and it gets the skinny guy. And does this one? Yes, it gets 2 flowers as well. So they all have flowers on them. Now, okay, there we go. They all have strawberries. That guy only gets 1. Okay, see, this is what it's so much easier to do this ahead of time. Now, if you're just going to change it up and do whatever you want, it really doesn't matter. But if you want to actually make them look like they're supposed to, it definitely is worth it to take all the pieces and sort them out and put them in order. And it does not matter how many kits I've done or how many times I do this, I still find this the easier way to go. And the first page of the instructions, like there's individual pages, but the first page shows you all 4 cards at once. Oops, I hope I'm not up a little too high. And what goes with what. So that's what I'm cheating and looking at. I guess it's not cheating. That's the intent of the instructions. Okay, so that one gets 2 little blue pieces. It gets the long scallop. The long scallop goes on the game. Sorry, I'm trying from off camera, but I'm trying to be able to not rip these things because they're too nice. Yeah, long scallop goes on the game. Then we have a circle scallop. Scallop circle, as a normal person would say. Goes, I never claimed to be normal. What's the fun in that? Goes there. And then this one, oh, bonus. This one goes here and is the outline of Hello Friend, so you don't have to cut it. And then there's an entire other sheet of that. So there's, you got those ones, you just have 2 each of. Oh, no, you do have extras. Because look, there's another one of all of them there. So you got 3 of the extras of the ones I just put on the white pieces. That's nice. Where do these little blue dudes go? So you have some extra pieces, plus you have the die cut. So you can certainly make extra things if you want. That's not the right card. Where's the pink card? What is the right card? Oh, this is the wrong card. It's supposed to be over here. That's why it's not making sense. And then pink, where's the little pink banner? This one. It'll go fast once I figure out what I'm doing. Okay, and then these ones get these cute little berry baskets. Look at that. Okay. And then something gets a vellum. Ooh, that one there. I was going to say vellum is usually on the busier pattern, because it helps to kind of tone them down. But as it turns out, this one is going here. You got 2 cards with vellum. And then there's another sheet for the other cards. And then this little square one is what's kind of toning down that little guy. Oh, look at that. Okay. All those. Down there. I'll put those back in because I'm just going to use my own. Okay, so we've got our envelope. Envelope, as I like to say. We are just going to stack those out of the way and start with this one. Okay. This is how I use the old placemat. People always ask me at events, do you save these? So I don't want to. Oh, this one's actually not bad. I don't want to. This is my hint for you. If you're doing lots, especially with dark colors, set it off to the side or flip pages, because this is well dry now. This is from like 5 days ago. But if you're doing it like actively stamping, then this stuff takes a little bit longer to dry, it seems. And you don't want to set new stuff on top of it because you're stamping over here. And you definitely don't want to take a lighter color and stamp off in this stuff and then put it on your card, because you'll kind of like dirty it up. But this will work here. But yeah, I use each side. I make it a little bit smaller because I never have enough space on my desk. Let's be honest. And then I can you flip it in like inside, outside, frontward, backward kind of thing. You know, the old joke about the underwear. And I get the most out of it. And then I eventually do throw it away and use another piece. So as long as it doesn't have adhesive on it, because I don't like when I accidentally stick things to things that I don't want to stick them to. That was horrible English. Okay. So first up, and again, double-sided cards. So if you want to stretch your kit, especially because you have extra pieces and dies, you could cut these card bases in half and put them on plain cardstock, and then you would have extra bases. I'm just going to do it the way they are. I'm going to move this off to the side because I don't like it. It's harshing my vibe. Okay, what am I doing with this? I totally put that on the wrong spot. There we go. Okay, so this is not the right picture. Let's try following the right picture. Okay, I was thinking I must be stamping directly onto that because, oh, I have so many things on top of my blocks. Seriously, I must have 40 of them, and they were all in use. I finally, and I was at first trying to like keep up and clean after each project, but then we would use the same one again, just with a different color. So then I thought, I'm done taking these off the block. So I went and got a tray and had this tray, and just they were all stacked on there. And one of the tips that some of the presenters were using, Sarah will sometimes take this like a big block and just stick all the ones she's going to use on here, and then put them on and off of this, and then just take one block. I thought, oh, that's a good idea. So then any block that had space on it, if I needed to like use a certain size block and I had run out, I would take it off. And so some of my blocks had like stamps on the whole thing, and oh, I was having a heyday, but boy, did I go through. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put my strawberry basket here. Why is it not up on it? Nothing's on embellishments. Oh no, the strawberries are. Okay, this is going to go flat on here. It's going to have a whole bunch of strawberries coming out of the top, and then we're going to pop a couple flowers on. So this is where, I guess you could do it the other way too. So this is where I want to stamp my sentiment. But there we go. So what the heck did I do with them? I'm going to make sure that I give these a nice good condition, because I don't have anything that cuts that. So I want to make sure it's nice and good. So conditioning, what was the other word? People seasoning, they call it seasoning. It was funny because there's a lot of new to Stampin' Up people that were participating in this workshop. The scrapbooking retreat, I guess it wasn't really a workshop. And the one presenter especially, who's come over from close to my heart and is now the kind of the scrapbooking specialist at Stampin' Up, kept trying to figure out if like the terminology she was using was the same. So it's quite funny to see all the different things people call things. Okay, I'm also going to take out, and I can do this because I have a whole bunch of stamp sets in front of me. You can probably do this too, because chances are you are a subscriber to Paper Pumpkin and you've got more than one color. So I'm going to actually get a real red out. I would stamp strawberries on the inside. So I just put a couple extra blocks of some strawberries on them. Okay, so yeah, condition, excuse me. Excuse me while I drink my very squeaky water bottle. Here, want another tip? If you have one of these like little cozies, mine has a mustache on it, which I think is hilarious. It's for a coffee cup, but it's a knit thing. You can stick it on the bottom of your bottle. So one, your hand doesn't get wet every time you pick it up. And two, the condensation from the ice cubes in the bottle are usually caught by this little thing. And if not, you can just go like this to dry it. I discovered that this last week and I was like, oh my God, lifesaver. Because I was always getting wet hands and leaving a ring everywhere I set my water bottle. Okay, whatever I was choking on, I'm done. Yeah, so seasoning, conditioning, because these new photopolymer stamps have a bit of a film on them from manufacturing. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you forget you do it and it's perfectly fine. Other times you go, oh. So in this case, because like I said, I don't have a die that cuts that big long shape. I wish I did. That's awesome. I'm just gonna make sure I put it down and I give it a good twist, which helps rub it off. That was one of the things that was discovered. Some people do it on their hands, some people do it on their pants, some people do it on a cloth, some people use little sanding blocks. Okay, we're good. I think I've done that 16 times. We're good. Life is sweeter with you. See, here's the thing. I'm going to use these. If I, it's unlikely that I'm going to have extra strawberries because I believe between myself and I, and potentially the dog who really likes strawberries, I might figure out after a bit if he sees us eating off the plant that he can eat off the plant. So that's yet to be determined whether he will do that or not. But if I have extra strawberries, I'll put them in a little basket and I'll make a little tag with a strawberry that says, life is sweeter with you to give to anybody. Because if I'm giving you strawberries, that means I like you. Because strawberries fresh from the vine. Ooh. Okay. So in the instructions, it shows to use your tear and tape to secure. So let's pretend Tracey's following the instructions and using your tear and tape. She is not, however. She is using the brand new seal that she just replaced. And it's set a little bit lower, and I kind of like that. It's not centered. That's so there's room for the strawberries to spill out. It's a good thing that was dry, as I just ran my hand across it. So I'm still curious about that. As I feel like I think I took one extra strawberry. I don't seem to have a home for that one. I feel like that basket should be up on dimensionals, but I'm going to wait and see. This, however, does go on dimensionals. There is some, like I said, there's some in the bag, whatever I did with it. Actually, there's not any in the bag. You know why? Because I ran out of the bigger dimensionals on the weekend and I pulled them out. There should be dimensionals in this box. I pulled them out to use them in my scrapbooking. That's right. They are, I was just a few short of the big ones, and I wanted the big ones. That's the dimensionals that came in the kit, but I pilfered the kit to get them out. I remember that now because I'm looking at the picture saying, they're telling you to put in dimensionals. What did I do with the little one? There it is. I'm going to wait and see where the flowers go because you know me, I like my dimensionals. Oh, I see what they did. Okay, so they did actually have, I'm not going to do that. They did actually have this extra strawberry. So the extra strawberry was like where you can see it at the bottom, you could see red behind that little thing. But I honestly don't think anybody's even going to notice. I'm going to put mine a little bit lower so that that is behind there. And I'm going to save that strawberry. So I'm putting this one in the front. And this one. I'm going to move it over so it's actually on the page. And I'm going to put this one. So I have a nice full basket of strawberries. Yeah, as soon as I was putting all those things on, I thought, this is not going to work. I got them right in the wrong place. But that's okay, because this strawberry is going to lean on there. So I'm just going to repurpose the one I just pulled off the card and the one that's been stuck to my finger while I decide what I was doing. So this will go here. So that's what I did. I got dimensionals on this one. So I somehow missed one there. I think that was the one I was putting down before I distracted myself and realized that I should not be putting them. And then these ones are just down the middle of the strawberry so that they'll fit between these two. And then this, it shows to just put it down flat. So we'll put it down flat. And Smart Money might have been laying out the strawberries first. And then this, but I'm just going to roughly, because I moved everything now. I don't know where they were. So I can do one at a time, and then I won't have to keep replacing them. So we'll pop the backs off this one. Holding those, because otherwise I would just knock them over again. There we go. The backs off this guy. And no, I'm not throwing them on the floor, even though it probably looks like, oh, you maybe can't see my other arm. I have a recycle bin under the table, under my desk, which is where I'm throwing them, not just on the floor. Not that it doesn't look like I just throw them on the floor. I find these things everywhere, but I am in fact not doing that. And then this one goes in the middle. And then this guy, this goes, oh, I did make that a bit higher than I wanted. What did I do with that one? Well, the beauty of dimensionals is they give a little bit of give on them. I think I just put this one a bit higher than I meant to. Come on. There we go. I don't usually mash them down, at least not until I know for sure I'm done. There we go. Now I should be better. There we are. We're going to do that. And then we're going to take this little guy. And actually, I put him just on the side, but now that I realize it, because this is flat, I can put another one here. Doo-doo. This guy is just going to jauntily lean against the side of the thingamajig. And then you remember the easy way to do this. I'm going to put a dimensional here so the flower is also up. But instead of putting it on the back of the flower and then guessing where, because I think it's going to have to be slightly offset. I'm just going to put the dimensional right on the card, right beside the strawberry. And then I'm going to pop the flower over top of it. And then we get to put another one. And of course, I'm doing whatever I want because none of these all show that they're just supposed to be on blue dots. You do you, I do me. As I always do. And that one goes there. And oh my goodness, look at how cute this card is. Look at that. A good old sweet basket of strawberries. And then, so the envelopes are already decorated. Come to think of it, the flap is decorated. So you could stamp on the front if you wanted to. Where did I go? Just because, I don't know if we stamped these on any of the other cards, but I want you guys to be able to see what these look like. Oh, that's a well-inked ink pad. That's good. You want to make sure it's good with the darker colors. So here's the other thing I'm going to recommend is two things, actually. Because this is a big solid image, even though it's got all the little holes in it, it is a solid image, is to use your Pierce mat, because that's what you should do with big images of photopolymer. And then straight down, straight up. Now, if this was the only thing I was stamping, I would say do not close the envelope or do not close your card right away because this much deep red ink takes a second to dry. But by the time I close that so I don't set anything in it and get the other stamp, it'll probably be dry. Also make sure you don't stick your card in there. It's very close, but I did not stick my card in my opening pad like I thought. Let's get this a little squish. And then I'm going to pop this right on top. So look at that little cutie. My leaf is a little bit crooked, but a little strawberry on the inside. And see, I'm not totally closing it because I just put all that dark ink on the inside. That's a super cute card. like it. Hey, card number 2. That would be this one. So I am looking at the instructions. I'm just not necessarily following the instructions. So 1, 2, 3, there's 4 cards. There's 2 cards on one. I'm like, how come I don't see 4 instructions? I do if I go close enough. Alrighty. This is so clever. Do you notice when I took it out? So this one, I told you was the shape of the Hello Friend, right? So it's pre-cut for you, so you don't have to fussy cut around it. But the other ones, in my head, I was thinking, have I done something wrong again? Because I don't see any sentiment labels. But that one, the sentiment label went on the rectangle. And on this one, the sentiment goes here. How cute is that? So we're using different sentiments on the cards, but you don't have to. But just in case you were wondering, yes, the life is sweet. You have to put it up a little bit, but that's good because you're going to put things on the end anyways. I really like that. That one will also fit. The Hello Friend will not, but no, the Hello Friend will just not. I was going to say if you split it, but even if you split it, it's not going to fit. So the other thing I realize now too, there's little flower stamps here. So instead of putting a big strawberry on the inside, you could put a flower on the inside, which I might still do before I'm done. Okay, so this one we're going to write thank you in the middle of the strawberry. I realize now that I waited till my entire card was assembled to stamp the inside. Most people will stamp first so that if you're wrong, you don't have to fix anything. So this is going to say thank you, and I'm going to shimmy it up a little bit, just not so much that the green ink gets in the green letters and you can't see it. Talk for Modern. Yep, I'm going to stamp a flower. So we have two little flowers. Oh, they're actually different sizes too. Look at that. Put inside of this one. I'm just going to do them. So this is my solution. Whether it's the right one or not, Lord only knows. But again, I have a lot of stamp blocks. Every stamp gets its own block. Too fist in it. Look at me. Anytime I have to stamp anything that's meant to be white, I tend to use smoky slate. Depending what I'm making, if I'm making like a black and white card, then I might stamp them in black. But because generally, if you're stamping something that's supposed to be white, it's like a line drawing. It's just open. It's not a solid stamp. But a lot of times I feel like the black is too black for something that's meant to be white. So I will use smoky slate, because smoky slate, in fact, I'm going to use the big one. Smoky slate it's a pretty color for starters, but it also it's small enough, light enough that you get the idea that it's meant to be a lighter image of whatever you're doing. Look at that. So there's two. I like things in three, so I did three, but you can see there's a small and a large. So now that I've stamped the inside, let's remember which side I stamped that on so I don't make my card upside down or backwards or anything. I'm just going to close these because I almost stuck the stamp in it last time. So how about let's not tip fate. Okay, bits and pieces everywhere. Move that out of the way for now. Okay, so this one for assembly, we have these two cute little Numa flickies. I think the technical term, background pieces. Oh my goodness, look at that. I just about missed it. I really should pay attention to the instructions because it's so much cuter. This is what makes me think of it. When I do this, and I think there's a lot of solid here. Usually they have like DSP or a pattern or something. That's when your brain kicks in and says, look at the instructions. Because you know what the instructions say? Stamp flowers on the background. So I'm just going to show you roughly. It's in the instruction. You can do them wherever you want. But the idea is to have them kind of peeking around. And these are tone on tone. So they're kind of peeking out in a few places. You have to remember next time, those are no longer gray. Not that it would probably matter too much, but. So this is roughly where the instructions are showing. And it's got them all stamped in little pairs. So you can see where I've put. And tone on tone is beautiful. It's almost like a little watermarking. And then these guys are putting on tear and tape, which this is not, but let's pretend it is. Your kit has tear and tape, but let's face it, you guys all probably have something else too. That one. And that one. And then this one's going to tuck under. These ones are going to go over. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I ended up with an extra strawberry again. Is it? Can I just not count? Nope. See in the picture. I do not. 1, 2. Oh, there it is. Geez, you can barely see that one. Okay, those little guys. I'm going to wait because those little guys might just end up with blue dots, which is buried in my dimensionals. Oh my god! At the rate I'm going, I'm only going to get one. Well, there you go. I'm going to do this, and then I'll make 2 other videos for the other ones. I'm in my own little zone. I'm having lots of fun. I decided this summer was going to be, kind of a little more chill, relax. But I've had lots going on, but it's all just been kind of like light, fun stuff. Plus, I finally gave in to my son's request to try video games with him. And I will admit, we've been playing a lot of video games lately. This is okay. This flower is here, so that's the side. I'm only putting dimensionals on the one side of the flower Here, let's put this in the middle, because then I can do it as we go. And yeah, the first day we did it, it was a totally addictive game playing Walking Dead. I am at that game, but it was very addictive. And once we got going, we want to know how the story went. So we played that one for way longer than we probably should have. And then the next game we played, oh, I was terrible at. Oh my goodness, Last of Us, I was terrible. And then we played some block thing. I forgot what that one's called. I was slightly better at that one. That one was way more fun in my opinion. And then we've tried a couple other ones since, and I do not have. I will never be a gamer, but my skill set in the gaming world is to provide entertainment to those that play with me, because it is sometimes that bad it's funny, but it's been entertaining. So this one's going to go down here, and this one we will use a glue gun. I'm going to speed myself up here. I am in relax mode, and I am like super just putzing along as I go. Okay, so this one also going to put dimensionals on. Ooh, I got all three at once. 1, 2. These are big enough images you want to have more than just one. Just one, and your thing will get all twisty and mangled and stuff. Oh my goodness. See, these cards would go together really quickly if I was like paying attention and not being a spaz. So this one is actually showing like this, but in the picture you can barely see it. But I do like odd numbers, so I'm going to do that. And the reason I'm doing this is so I can figure out which side is already popped up and which side gets the dimensionals, so that it's not fighting, because we don't want to have, if there's any hope of mailing it without having to pay a fortune, we don't want to have dimension on dimension. Like double dimensions will usually put you over the limit for what will fit through the little regular letter slot at the post office. This little guy here. Jaunty angle. Do I have 3 stars? I do have 3 flowers. And this guy, just for a little bit of dimension, I'm going to put him down. I'm going to put him flat as well. And then this one is going to have to be herf and herf, as my dad used to say, because he's going to go right here, and it's already got enough dimension. So for him to not look kind of squished and crooked. There. Look at that card. Oh my goodness, I love these cards. Did I stamp the inside? Yes, I did. I remember now. All righty. Look at me go. Okay, slide. All right, here's the important part about working with vellum. You can see adhesive through vellum. So we have to be strategic when we make this one, and wherever we put the bigger parts of this, that's where the vellum gets glued. Because otherwise you'll be able to see it through, which I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so this card goes like this. So this one is going to be hello friend, goes this way. Well, I'm going to grab another block. And this one has lots of strawberries flowers. Oh, look at that. So there's 2 things. Drop my other half of that. So this one says, so when you have a big long one like this, and I've just like pulled it off, it's very easy to make it go, like stretch it out one way or the other, which we don't want to do. We especially don't want to do that when we're putting it on a label. So putting it down here and letting it just land how it would naturally land, generally it will be straight. Then you can pick it up with the block. And then before it even sees ink, you can go like this, because you can set it right down on top. I don't know if you're able to see that on the camera. There, and I can see that my stamp is where it's supposed to be, because I can see the outline and it's nice and even. So before it even gets near the ink. But then this little doohickey, actually, so this one says, hello, friend. And then you can put, you're the best or love you lots on the little strip underneath it, which we also have. Here's the other thing. If you're having trouble, whether you're using grid paper, glass mat, whatever, if you're having trouble getting your thing straight, just put it down on your mat. And this is the part I see other people do it, and they make it look so easy. I'm gonna put my head in the camera, okay? Because mine, it always sticks to me. There we go. So you do that, and then you use your pokey tool so it doesn't stick to you as much. We use the line that's on your mat and put it straight against the line and then pick it up. Okay, so we have this. Hello, friend, you're the best. This one's supposed to say love you lots, and the other one's supposed to say you're the best. Oh, I love my friends. I'll use the love you lots. Upside down. Oh, there. Oh my goodness, it's sticking to me like crazy. Okay, this one says love you lots. We'll do this one on the next one. Where did I put it? Right there. And then what are we going to put in the inside? We're going to put these little flowers, or are we going to put a strawberry? This one's got big strawberries on the outside. So I'm cleaning this off on my mat, which is not how you're supposed to do it. I don't think my chamois is wet. See, you flip it enough ways, you'll find one side that's still just wet enough to wash your stamps. Because I did that in green, I'm going to just wash my stamps off so I can do it in gray. Like I said, I love smoky slate. It's just beautiful neutral color. And this little guy, I didn't do it on all the other pieces. I noticed a couple of them, but I realized how far behind I am because I'm putzing today. I was racing so much, like from the time I got up, I'll tell you a funny story about that. But from the time I got up until I started this, I've been rushing. So now that I'm just like stopped and I'm in my happy place, I'm just playing and putzing. So my video is going too long. But yes, I like to trim the little nubbins off where it attached to the die cut sheet. Okay, so let's stamp the inside. Does this go up there? Yes, it does. And you can do this however you want, but I'm going to, in this one, I'll do a different one. I do like things in threes. I like things to look kind of random, but random's hard to just get things random. The term they were using this last week when we were doing it was plandom, sort of planned random, plandom. So you can make a little line, and in this case, because we have two sizes, I went a little crooked. This was supposed to be a bit higher, but big in the middle, two little ones. It's a cute little layout, just to mix things up a bit. And then I don't want to set this on my vellum. My vellum dirty. Okay, so this one's another one of those ones where we're going to give it a nice good job of making sure I'm getting a solid image. Oh, see the top of the D there is not. There we go. Before I use my one and only label that I can do a couple extra little pounces. Make sure we got nice coverage. Move it around a bit. Beauty of photopolymers, you can look right through the stamp and see right off the bat if it's all good, if you're missing a spot. And then line it up, drop her down. Give it a second with my nice dark green. Oh, look at that, is awesome. Okay. Not I'm awesome. The stamp is awesome. And then what is this one? This one says love you lots. And yes, it's upside down. Not that it would matter because the label's not attached to anything yet, but I tend to prefer to stamp right side up. Try to center that end to end. There we go. Nice. Okay. So yes, funny story about the dog. About 10 to 7 this morning, I get actually probably about 10 minutes before I was like, you know how you're sometimes like you're like almost awake, but you don't, you're fighting it because you really don't want to get up and you don't need to get up that early. And I heard a big thud and I was like, whatever. And so it seemed like about 10 or 15 minutes later, I hear barking. And the dog does not generally bark. I can also tell the dog is outside barking because I can tell it's muffled and by the window. So I get up and sure enough, the dog is outside barking and my son has let him out and fallen back asleep. So I think this is pretty funny. It's like beautiful weather out right now. It's no big deal. But then I get all my stuff done. The dog's stomach is just gurgling like crazy. So he's obviously eaten something that doesn't agree with him. And he's, even in the time from when I got up to when I had to leave the house this morning, because I had a whole full day of things to do, or a full morning, he was in and out, eating grass, puking on the, like just back and forth, back and forth. So I had just enough time to wake my son before I left and said, keep an eye on the dog. He's obviously eating something, and keep an eye on him. So when I finally got home, I was talking to my son. I found out that that thud that I thought was him, where he like let him out and then fell back asleep, was in fact not him. And he had let the dog out at like 2:30 in the morning or something. So the dog was outside for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. So I don't know if I hope he wasn't barking before. He must have given up at some point. But he's an indoor dog. He's like a big suck who has to be, an inch from your arse all day long. And so he's certainly not used to that. He didn't see any the worse for wear. I did find it amusing. Okay, so here's the thing. I have no idea what the instructions are telling me to do in this particular point. This is going to go down and this is going to go over top. And you want to make sure that any adhesive you use to stick this down is underneath one of these leaves. Otherwise, you'll be able to see it. So what I find, especially when it's one big piece, is I put the adhesive on here and I'm going to put this over top where I want it to go. There we go. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it over because now I know where the leaves are. So instead of trying to guess and hope you hit the right spot, just put this part on first, then put adhesive where all the leaves are. And yes, they do say tear and tape in the instructions. And then just put this down because that's way easier than trying to guess and figure and hope that you get it in the right spot. There we go. And then my little hello friend. And I'm sorry, nothing personal to them, but the way they have the flowers on the sample, I don't like that layout. I think it's a little linear, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to put this here, so I'm not covering too much of the strawberries. Oh, see, I think, oh no, they didn't. They just did this. Bring that close to the edge. Again, do whatever you want. I'm doing what I want. I'm going to put 2 little dimensionals right there, right up against. There's a little notch in the die cut for the friend. I'm going to put 2 dimensionals buddied up in there. And I'm just going to put this. You know what? I can put one on the end too because it's sticking. It's way out there. And I'm going to put one right on this end. In the instructions, I don't actually see what it says I'm supposed to put these on with. It looks like they've got it glued to the thing, but I'm doing it this way. But see now, because these ones are very easy to find, and then this one's on the end, now I got it lined up perfect. And then we need the flowers. So I'm going to, I have 5 flowers. I'm going to put a couple flowers. See, they have them spread out all over the card. That's not working for me. But these are small, so I'm only going to be able to fit one. But I'm going to put blue dots on 3 and dimensionals on 2. Because I like, if you're going to cluster things, I like them to have a little bit of a, that's what else. This is the other reason I like blue dots on the roll, because I can put them on like this and then pull them off as I need. So I'm going to put one of them over here. This one is popped up. This one is not, and it's just going to tuck under the edge. So a nice little thing there. And then that seems too high. I don't know if I put these ones here, one there. I'm going to tuck the other one under this way. And then I'm going to put the third one there. There. I like that better. Oh, look at that card. Seriously, now that I'm, focusing and yammering less, cards coming together quickly. Boom, boom, boom. Life is sweeter. Thank you. Hello, friend. Okay, so we get to repeat one of the sentiments. I was going to say, I've run out of stamps. What does this one say? This one says, thank you. You're the best. So, and that is going on. See, this scallop is actually a sentiment thing and not just a pretty decoration in the background. There, that one there. Look at these. These are awesome. I like to make sure when I fold my cards, because what I can see is the front. So if it's going to be off at all, and sometimes when it's off, especially with colored card bases, you can kind of, like, you'll see white through it. So I make sure I have to fold a certain way because that's just how uncoordinated I am. I make sure that's why I flip this upside down so that this is the front of my card that I'm lining up. Now, as it turns out, I did a pretty good job. There's like just a hairline here, but I don't want that on the front. So now I can flip it back the right way. Make sure I put the right way. I think this one, because I want to. And because I need to see if I can do a better job of getting the top on the strawberry than I did the first try. I forgot the little pad, but that's okay because I can see that this is a well-inked ink pad, so it's going to be just fine. And we're going to stamp a strawberry because there's only one on the front, so I can put an extra one on the inside. Well, there's only one big one. There's a ton of little tiny ones. See that one? I could see I missed a corner of my stamp. Oh, I did a much better job that time. So there's my strawberry on the inside. Let's move that over there and let it dry. This is going to say thank you. I was going to say, if I put thank you, you're the best, makes sense. If I put life is sweet, you're the best, doesn't really go together, but life is sweet, love you lots, that works too. This is just in the center, is it not? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know where that weird accent came from, but paper, scratch pad. You're the best. Again, my best attempt at centering side to side. And this one looks like I don't need dimensionals on it because it's going over top of the strawberry. Put that big mess over there. So that's all I need to stamp. Okay. Make sure, good measure, make sure it's done. So this is going to be the same idea. We're going to put this down. We're going to put this over top. And we're going to pop up our strawberry and our flowers. And then we're going to have a strawberry that's going to, I was trying, I'm doing two things at once and neither one of them very well. So, you know, I like to cut the little nubbins, as they call them, off. This keeps driving me nuts because I keep thinking that there's a piece sticking out here that I should trim off because it's like a little pointy piece, but it is in fact the point of the leaf. So don't trim that one off. The other ones are way less noticeable. Okay, so then this one's going to go here. Do I want to pop that up? I don't think I will, just because then the strawberries and the flowers get the spotlight. Okay, so this is going to go like this. So I'm going to show you the other way of doing it. Because if you have lots of little pieces, it may not, or things that are up on dimensionals, it's not always the easiest. So I'm going to do this. So this is where the main stuff's going to go. So I know when I go to put my, that's over top, when I go to put my vellum on, that I've got like most of this top part and a little bit down here. So I'm going to, because I want to show you, as soon as I flipped it over, I thought, what am I doing? Which direction is up? Okay, so those two pieces are behind the sentiment, and that little strip is behind the strawberry. Now, this is a busy pattern, so you can't see it. So you can see, I can see it in person plain as day, but I can't make it show up in the camera. Anyways, you can see the strip through it. When you put it down, I know where it is. I can see the difference. I don't know if it'll show up on camera. I can see that right here, right there, and right there is where I put the tear and tape, because I can see the difference in the pattern underneath. A busy pattern, it hides it a bit better, but if you had solid colored cardstock underneath, even if it's embossed though, these become a lot more noticeable. Put that one down. So that's the other way to do it with your vellum. This was easy to figure out where these were going to go. And I did a good job, obviously, because now I think the last strip of it was on this strawberry, which is where I could see it before. There. I'm going to put a little bit of tape in the middle of this guy. He's going to go like this. You can put yours straight. I choose to put mine crooked. And then stuck. There. That looks pretty cute. Actually, that looks pretty cute just like that. This one, it shows having another one up here, but because this is white, it's a little harder to see, but I'll put it up there anyways. Look at that. So yeah, seriously, once I started, this went way quicker once I was focused. So look at these gorgeous cards. Now, what is the date today? 23rd. I should have known this ahead of time. With the very cute images. My ink is in the way. I can't do what I'm trying to do here. So it's too late for the subscription. Like you have to choose that by the 10th of each month. But these things are adorable. So just 1 second, because I'm very quickly going to check. Usually you can order, and it's by the 21st, so it would have been Monday. Did I get mine late this week or this month? No, I didn't actually. It's all normal. Just the Monday must have been the 21st, because after the 21st, so I'm not multitasking very well. They made a change to where the stuff Paper Pumpkin shows up on the website, and after 13 years, I think it was, of looking in one place, I almost guaranteed hit the wrong place every time now because I haven't got used to the new place yet. So lots of times, oh, and yes, they do. Okay, so, and with free shipping, that's the time to do it. So this is the 4 cards you get, and you get 2 of each. So if you ordered the subscription, you would have got the stamp set and the ink spot. Usually after the subscription, it's not very often that there's full kits left, which is the case here. But the refill is available, Sweeter Than You Paper Pumpkin refill. It's $18.25 plus shipping and tax. But if you order tomorrow on the group order, or today or Friday, because that's the 3-day thing, you won't pay the shipping. You'll just pay the tax. So $18.25, and what it gives you is all of the paper stuff, all the envelopes, card bases, and all the die cuts. It just doesn't give you the stamp set or the ink spot. So if you want to make these cards, and these cards are flipping amazing. These cards are so nice. I'm gonna add a refill to my order because I love these cards. And then same thing, the dies are $16.50 plus shipping and tax. So if you don't have these yet and you want to add to the fun, order them today, well, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's when the free shipping is. And again, you don't even need the stamp set or anything to make cute cards with these dies. These little leaves. Oh my goodness. So yeah, tons of fun to be had. Thank you guys. I went over. I'm very sorry. I will do the other 2 kits in separate videos, and I'll just post them in the next couple days in between all my fun and frivolity and eating that I'm doing this week. Let me know if you're adding anything to the order. I'm setting it out at 9 tomorrow, so I'd like your stuff tonight or early tomorrow. I'm up early, so early tomorrow is fine as well, but order goes at 9. And I will have my 12-month 2-page spread album of my month-to-month from my virtual retreat last week. That will be show and tell on Friday, and who knows what else you'll see in between. If nothing else, newsletter next Monday, and I will be back here on Wednesday. When I come back to do my live next Wednesday, I will have just seen the PDF for the holiday mini catalog. I will likely be incoherent because I'll be so darn excited because I've already seen a couple sneaks, and oh my God, this stuff's amazing. And that's also the day we will figure out all the prices and have the final information so that next Thursday we can give you all the product details and upgrade information for extravaganza. So much fun coming in the next week. Thanks, peeps. Have a great week. Bye.